guys, it's Daisha, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I edit my Instagram pictures. I have created a little feed on my Instagram and I'm going to show you guys what I use to edit those pictures. And most people use like Visco, or I think Snapseed is kind of like a big one, but I use Lightroom and I use the presets that I've made. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to edit 2 different pictures with 2 different presets. And like, you know, with a preset you just like tap it and it just gives you the filter on it, but I'm going to be showing you guys step by step what number that I have it set for mine, so you guys can get the same look. So if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Okay guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is go into Lightroom and find the picture that you want to edit. As you can tell, I use this app quite frequently. It's pretty good. So this is the picture that we're going to be editing, and the first thing you want to do is go into those are the tools, and then you want to go into the light section. And for the exposure, you're going to want to do plus 52. I might not be exact, but 52 is kind of where you want to be. And then for the contrast, we're going to leave, and the highlight is going to be negative 50 or minus 50. And then you're going to want to go into the shadows, and that's going to be plus 61. Again, I'm not like exact on it, but I'm pretty close. And then for the whites, you're going to want to go into for plus 54, or pretty close to it. And then the blacks, you're going to want to do a negative 34, scroll all the way down to 34, or close enough. And then you're going to go into like the temperature, and that's going to be plus 7. It's really small. It just gives it kind of like a warmer or like tint to it. So you just want to scroll to plus 7. It's really small. And then almost there. And then after that, you're going to want to go into tint, and you're going to want to do plus 6. And then you go into vibrance, and you're just going to leave that actually. And then saturation, we're going to go to minus 10. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is hit that color wheel looking button. So for the reds, you're going to do plus 21 for the hue. Saturation is going to be plus 41, and then the luminance is going to be minus 20. So then going in with those oranges, you're going to want to do the hue at plus 12, and minus 12, sorry. And then the saturation is going to be plus 9, and then the luminance is going to be minus 20, or as close as you can get. And then for the yellows, you're going to go into, for the hue, it's going to be minus 64. And then the saturation is going to be minus 88. So you're all the way down. And then the luminance is going to be plus 13. And then going into those greens, the hue is going to be plus 16, and that's all you're going to mess with for the greens. And then going into that light blue color, the hue is going to be minus 5, and then the saturation is going to be plus 51, and then the luminance, you're going to take it all the way to plus 91. It just brings out more of the blues that I have in my pictures. And then for the darker blue, the hue is going to be minus 5, and then the saturation is going to be plus 40, and then the luminance is going to be minus 3. And then going into the purples, the hue, is going to be plus 13. And then for the saturation and luminance, you're just going to leave those 2. Then going into the pinks, the hue is going to be plus 4. And then the saturation is going to be plus 19. And then the luminance is going to be plus 20. Okay, so after that, you're going to go into the effects tab. And once there, you're going to click on the clarity, and you're going to drag that to plus 25. And then you're going to find the noise reduction one. It just helps so there's not so much like filter on it. It helps clear it up. And that's going to be negative 45. And then after that, you're going to go into detail, and you're going to move that to 58. Everything else you're just going to leave as 0, and you're pretty much done with that one. And when you hold on to it, it shows you the before and this is the after. And then after that, you're going to want to save it, and it goes straight to your camera roll. Then once you go into your photos, it should be the first one there, and there it is. Okay, so now we're going to be doing the second preset. So for the exposure, we're going to do -40, and then for the contrast, we're going to do -23, and then for the highlights, we're going to take it all the way to +72. And then for the shadows, you're going to do +53. And then for the whites, you're going to do -13. And then the blacks, you're going to do +21. And then going into the color section, for the temperature, we're just going to leave. For the tint, we're going to do +9. And then the vibrance is going to be +5. And then the saturation is going to be -14. And then going into that mix button, again, for the reds, for the hue, we're going to be doing +2. For the saturation, is going to be 0, and then the luminance is +6. Going into the oranges, the hue is going to be -6. The saturation is going to be -27, and the luminance is going to be -11. For me, this changes my skin color, so I just want to look a little bit more brown, but it's completely up to you. And then into the yellows, the hue is going to be -2. The saturation is going to be -70, so taking it all the way down. And then the luminance is going to be +34. Then going into those greens, the hue is going to be +13. The saturation, we're going to take it all the way down to -70. And then for the luminance, we're going to do +16. Again, these numbers don't have to be completely exact, but just to whatever you like. I like the trees to be a little bit lighter than, I like the greens to be just light, if that makes any sense. And then going into that light blue, the hue is going to be +23. This is going to change the sky in my pants a little bit. And the saturation, we're just going to keep it at 0. And the luminance is going to be -4. And then going into those darker blues, the hue is going to be -6, and then the saturation we're just going to leave at 0, and then the luminance we're going to take down to -21. Then going into those purples, the hue we're going to be going down to -45, and then for the saturation we're going to be going to -70, and then the luminance we're just going to leave alone. And then for the pinks, the hue is going to be +20. And then the saturation is going to be -35. And then the luminance we're just going to leave alone. So ending with that and going into the effects section, the texture we're going to leave, the clarity we're going to do +8. And then we're going to leave the dehaze and the vignette alone. Everything else we're going to leave alone. And then we're going to go into the detail section. And for the sharpening, it's going to be +32 or just 32. And then the radius is 0.8, or I think I keep it at 1. And then the detail is going to be 29. And then going into noise reduction, we're going to turn that to 31. And then we're going to change the color noise reduction to 25. Again, this just makes it a little bit more clear since all the filters we've been putting on top of it, so it doesn't look all like grainy and hazy. Unless you're going for that look, you can always do that as well. And then that is all we're going to be doing for that. This is the before, that's the after. And then after that, we're going to be hitting the top 3 in the left-hand corner. We're going to be hitting those 3 buttons. This makes a preset. I just named the preset light, doesn't matter, whatever you name it. So then you can always apply this to any other picture you want and you'll have to redo it. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you really enjoyed it, please leave it a thumbs up. And if you like watching me, please subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me. So I'll see you guys next week with a new video. Bye!